earnings the other day, I was talking about how Bitcoin was about to fool everyone. And that's exactly what happened. As you can see here, we had a bull trap. And I was mentioning how we were having these bull traps left and right. And that's exactly what happened. We ended up getting rejected up here at the top of our bear flag. And I was telling people, hey, look, bear flags are bearish signals. As you can see here, bear flags are bearish signals, and they're the opposite of bull flags. Bull flags are bullish, bear flags are bearish. And you can see this is the example of a bear flag, how it comes down here. Like this is the flagpole here. We have the flag, and then we have the continuation downwards that usually ends inside of a pullback, right? So that's what we got going on right now inside of Bitcoin. And this is a very, very, very important time for Bitcoin that a lot of people are not realizing. So I just want to kind of go over this. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, none of this financial advice, but look, we just had that pullback right here inside of Bitcoin. And this is nothing different than what happened last time during our last bull trap. As you can see, our last bull trap did the same exact thing up here, but instead it was inside of what we call a rising wedge, which is a bearish signal as well. And it's kind of just like the bear flag, but except we also had this ascending triangle, which was essentially acting as a bull trap. As you can see, ascending triangles are bullish signals. But when you have a bullish signal such as an ascending triangle within something such as a bear flag slash rising wedge, you're typically going to get a pullback. And that's exactly what happened here. You can see this ascending triangle is within this rising wedge that we had right here. And then if you also look what's happening here inside of Bitcoin, you can kind of see the same scenario playing out all over again. And then not only that, we also have to look at the percent arc trend exhaustion. So this is going to track both the short-term and long-term trends. So when we look at the blue line here, this is essentially the long-term trend. And then when we look at the white line, we're essentially looking at the short-term trend, right? And something that we're noticing here is the same exact pattern is following, right? We have the short-term trend breaking out here, coming into an overbought area on the percent arc trend exhaustion. Then we have the long-term trend not necessarily following along. So the second the long-term trend starts to pull back down, we're going to have the short-term trend pulling down too. And we're also going to have the price dropping because of that. And that's exactly why you start to see this pullback here. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that we're just going to crash all the way downwards, right? We still have an opportunity to bounce back here with the prices, right? It's only just now started to pull back here on the percent arc trend exhaustion. But what would happen if we seen this, just starting to go back up? We would see the price starting to go back up again. And then that would pretty much confirm that the price is going to continue upwards until it finally dumps. And if that happens, again, I mentioned this in the previous video, we might see this getting up to 80K, possibly pushing above there before it has another pullback, if it happens like that. But if it doesn't happen like that, and it happens like what we've seen before, then we're going to see that short-term trend dumping and a long-term trend pulling back as well, and then trying to do the same thing again, and then continuing to dump from there. So what we have to wait for is more activity here on the charts. So within the next week or so, we're going to know exactly what's going to happen. But yeah, Bitcoin did fool everyone right there. Everybody thought it was about to take off. Everybody was buying longs. People were saying, oh, everything's going to take off now. This is the bull market. The bears are about to get screwed. You've seen literally everybody on YouTube, on Twitter, X. They're literally saying we're about to take off and we're super bullish, right? Everybody is super bullish. But what happened? They got trapped. So anybody that tried to go in long right up here is now currently getting screwed. You probably have people getting liquidated who are over leveraged. And you're going to see that time and time again inside of this bear market, because that's exactly what we're in. We're inside of a bear market. So we're still going to continue to trend downwards here. If you look at the percent arc trend exhaustion on a 30-minute chart, we're almost at that overbought area where you're going to start to see the percent arc trend exhaustion curving upwards here. So we're going to start to end up seeing a little bit of a recovery from this pullback that we had, but it might not be a big recovery like you're expecting, right? You might just see something like this and then a continuation downwards. So we have to be aware of that. It's not up to us to predict what's about to happen. It's up to us to know exactly what to do when what happens, right? So you can try to predict it all you want, but the people that were predicting that we were going to continue to take off here, they're all getting burned. Whereas the people that were looking like, this could be a bear trap, let me sit out of this, they're not getting burned. Or a bull trap, sorry, not a bear trap. But yeah, those people aren't getting burned. And that's why I was like, yeah, it's best to sit out on the sidelines and watch and wait for everything to play out. Because as you're seeing now, like things aren't playing out the way that people expected it to play out, right? We might have like the crypto fear and greed index showing that we just now left extreme fear, but it doesn't necessarily mean buy, 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 buy. Like we literally just left the extreme fear range. So you got to give it some time. If it's not coming up here towards the greed and extreme greed, then more than likely it's not just going to end up taking off for no reason. Remember the last bull trap here. The last bull trap got all the way up here to about 54, it says here. It got up to a 54 on the fear greed index. So it was in that neutral range on the last bull trap. So last bull trap was all the way up here. Actually, it says, yeah, it's somewhere up there, 54 or something like that. But yeah, that one was indeed a bull trap. And if we zoom in here, yeah, 54. That was on January 15th of this year. We've seen it get all the way up to 54. So there is a possibility that you could start seeing this thing pulling back already. So don't get too, don't get too greedy. Don't be like everybody else trying to full port your account, as people would say. There's a lot of people talking about the bear flag and the fake out. And that's exactly what it is. It's a bear flag. It's fake out. They're really bull trapping people, and people are falling for it. And then you have influencers telling people, "Oh, this is the bull market. This is altcoin season. This is the bull market. If you don't get in now, you're gonna regret it forever. You're gonna regret it for the rest of your life." One thing you should never do is believe people when they say, "Oh, if you don't do this now, you're gonna regret it for the rest of your life." Why are they trying to push you so hard to buy? Because they know deep down people want to be bullish. People want to be bullish, right? And they want to be bullish because they want to make money. So they know if they're bullish, they're going to get more views. Why do you think when you look at all these other channels that are, super bears, they're not getting a lot of views? Like I'm pretty bearish on the market right now. Not getting a lot of views. You don't get a lot of views when you're bearish. You get a lot of views when you're bullish. And that's why influencers, time and time again, are super, super bullish. They tell you if you don't get in now, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life. Things are about to take off, blah, blah, blah. And they keep saying this as we go down. So then the second we start to go up, they're like, "Oh, look, I told you so. I told you so. I told you we were going to be bullish." But they've literally been bullish for the whole year. We've been going down, and then when it finally starts going up, all of a sudden they're right. This is how it works with these influencers. And hey, I'm not immune to that. I'm also a influencer, if you want to say that. But I'm not sitting here and telling you guys, if you don't get in now, you're gonna regret it for the rest of your life. I'm like, no, I'm sitting on the sidelines. I don't care what you guys do. I'm sitting on the sidelines. I'm not gonna be buying all the way up here at these prices right now because I think we can continue to pull back. But if you're super long term on Bitcoin specifically, buying in now is not a bad time because you could dollar cost average in all the way down. And then you can dollar cost average in all the way up. So if you're long term, it's never a bad time to buy. So I would agree with that. But for the people that are like trading and saying, "Oh, you're gonna regret it for the rest of your life," like no. If you're dollar cost averaging and you don't want to buy now, you're not gonna regret it for the rest of your life if you don't buy now. That's just completely stupid. And it's literally FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. They put that within you so then you can continue to watch their videos. So, that's just a little food for thought there. But as we're looking at the 4-hour chart here on the percent R trend exhaustion, we are seeing that we're pulling back here with the long-term trend and the short-term trend. But I've seen it happening inside the percent R trend exhaustion a lot lately, where the short-term trend comes like a quarter way down, and then they both just start to go right back up, and then it gets overbought all over again, and then it pulls back. So if something like that were to happen, then this could end up pushing up to this level up here around 79K before getting rejected. So there's always the possibility that it could break this bear flag. So you definitely want to watch out and pay attention for that. That's why you also don't want to go full porting shorts here. You don't want to go fully short here either, just like you don't want to go fully on longs. Because if we were to see the prices pulling back here, your confirmation is once we break this 65.9K area. Once we break this 65.9K area and start heading towards 60K, that is our confirmation. Once you break this bear flag here, then you know that we're going to be bearish. But you don't want to just go full part on shorts all the way up here. You got to wait for it to make your confirmation. And your confirmation might be different than mine. Your confirmation might be 60K, right? Because that was the previous bottom here. So you might be like, well, what if it's a double bottom scenario? Because we know double bottoms are bullish patterns. Double bottoms are bullish patterns. So if it was a double bottom scenario, well, you don't want to short until we go below that bottom, right? You don't want to short until we go below 60K. So some people's confirmation might be 60K. All right. So between 65K and 60K, me personally, I think 60K is a pretty safe area. But then again, what if we hit the double bottom at 60 and then pump up? Well, then you just have a stop loss at 65K. So then you break even if it does go back above there and it is a double bottom, right? That's just a little trading strategy 101. So yeah, I'm considering on making a course for trading strategy, but I think this stuff could be taught for free. Like all these different people with courses all over YouTube, you could literally get the same stuff for free on YouTube. So why would you buy a course where you can get it for free from so many different YouTube channels, not even mine, not even trying to promote my own channel. But if you go to other people's channels, you guys don't need me to make a course. I've been seeing people say, hey, you should make a course, you should make a course. But all of the information is free. So I would feel like a scammer if I made a course or a trading group. That's why I don't make courses and trading groups, because I would feel like a scammer. So yeah, I don't have nothing to sell you guys, but a lot of people are trying to sell stuff. So be careful, be careful. But other than that, I still believe this is a bull trap. Bitcoin is going to fool everyone, like I was saying before. This is someone on Twitter saying the same thing, talking about how the bull trap looks exactly the same, which is exactly what I was saying before. And then this is the video that I made where I said everybody's screwed, right? And as you can see there with the thumbnail image right there, you can see like I was literally right on the dot. Like literally right on the dot. I was like, look, it looks like it's gonna break out from this bear flag, but this could easily be a bull trap, right? And it broke out very briefly from the bear flag, but it immediately pulled back and dumped. So yeah, it was a big trap, and a lot of people they got screwed over. So be extremely careful. We got some people talking about triple divergence on BTC. We got people talking about the bottom structure is almost in. I don't know if I would say the bottom's almost in, but I guess that can be on your own discernment. But yeah, this is pretty much what I got for you guys. We'll see what exactly happens here in the near future, but don't say I didn't tell you so. All right. So yeah, hit the like button, subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Go ahead and go to my Kick and follow me on there. I want to start doing daily Kick streams. When you go there, it'll probably show one stream or might not show any streams, because if you're not verified on Kick yet, they delete your live streams after 2 weeks. So you're probably not going to see any on there, but you will see that I'm building on Kick. So get me verified on Kick, guys. And I put the clips from Kick onto YouTube. This video I made specifically for YouTube because I want to build up the Kick following before I start streaming there even more. So I'll be putting a lot more videos on YouTube here for you guys. But yeah, shout out to you guys. Oh yeah, become a member of the channel as well. It'll help support the channel a lot. All that good stuff. And as always, I'll be back with another video.